It's 10 o'clock in the morning here on the last day of February, February 28th, 2026. I'm sorry. I'm going to say 2025 until December, I imagine. But my neighbor's cows are hanging out with my cows, and this is that steer or the bull that keeps making noise in the background. He's been doing that for years now. Anyway, so you can see I moved the cattle into a new row here. I just wanted to show you what they're doing. They're not going for the hay. Well, some of them are. But this grass is pretty amazing now. You'll notice there's like patches of darker green. Like that's a little bit darker green. There's a little patch over there. Let me just walk up to that patch and show you what's going on. Now the dogs want to get friendly with me. Oh, look, some clovers. No, wait, I forget what this is called. This is vetch, I think. Some kind of vetch. But I'm pretty sure there's clovers over here. Huh? I don't know what that is. Anyway, yeah, so you can see that these little, where the grass is growing well, it looks like either a while back the cow either dropped a patty or maybe urinated. I think this one's probably from urine. This one's probably from manure. So, and then you can see this is like a little anthill or something. Something came in here and dug it all up. You know, but you get these old patties. They're just dirt now. I don't know how old it is. I want to say like 3 or 4 months old. Could be a little older. Could be 2 months. Could be a couple weeks old. I don't know. It goes pretty quick. It might pass for now. I remember when I first got the cows, I did a sort of experiment. I didn't document anything. I just, in my mind, I chose a patty and I went back to it every day and just kind of watched how it changed. And look at that. She's just going straight for the protein there. And I was kind of surprised at how long that patty lasted. I think it was like a good 6 months before that patty finally disappeared. But it went through a series of changes. And one of the stages, it like turned into paper, right? You look at this, you know, like if you think about it, like the way we make paper is we take, you know, vegetable matter, trees or whatever. It kind of doesn't matter what you use, as long as there's those long cellulose fibers. And then you grind it up and you add chemicals and stuff to kind of separate out those fibers. And then you suspend it in a liquid, and then you kind of squeeze it or squeeze out the liquid, and then the fibers bind together to form a mat. And I think the same thing's happening when the cows eat grass and other vegetable matter inside their stomachs. And so, like, they don't completely break down all of the cellulose. I think the bacteria do a good job of getting most of it. But so when they drop that manure patty, there's still a lot of fiber in there. And the ground has to digest it the rest of the way, you know. So yeah, we got flowers now. Little, I forget what kind of flowers. Is it miner's lettuce or something? I don't know. Anyway, the whole row looks like that. It looks like it gets like brown as you go down, but if I walk this whole row, you're going to see it's just as green on the other side as it is here, if not more so. The reason why it looks brown is because the stuff that's high up is brown, and the further you go out, the more it kind of takes over the view, right? The previous row, I was like, I could probably leave them here another day, but then I was like, I really don't want to move them on Sunday. I think we're doing a family dinner on Sunday, but patties are looking super nice. I wonder if I'm giving them too much protein now. Maybe I should back off a little bit. I think I'll give them some more. There's some corn in that protein too, because the cottonseed meal, you know, we're just not growing a lot of cotton in the U.S. right now for a variety of reasons, which is unfortunate. You know, farmers are complaining because they're not getting as good prices for their corn and soybeans because we're not exporting as much because of the trade war, the tariffs, and stuff like that. But the truth of the matter is that that's not the only thing that we do in agriculture. And people like me, we depend on the outputs of those industries. as supplements and fertilizers and things like that. In my case specifically, in the winter I have to supplement the hay. The hay doesn't have much protein in it, and the cows need a certain amount of protein. And so cottonseed meal was kind of the go-to. That's the stuff that's left after pulling the cotton fibers apart. It's the seeds, and they grind it up. And it's a good source of protein. It's cheap. It's local. We don't have to travel halfway across the world to get it. And now, like they said, well, we have to put soy and corn in because we don't have enough cottonseed meal to supply all you guys down here in the South. So that's kind of sad because cotton used to be a big industry here. And cotton's one of those crops that, when you think about it, your entire economy depends on things that are grown from rain and sunlight. Ultimately, there has to be inputs to every industrial process. And the nice thing about agriculture is we rely on things that are freely available. And we're turning those free resources into food and things of economic value, so that everybody else can have a job using our products or derivatives from our products to power their own industries. Like imagine a software company saying, yeah, we run on rainwater and sunlight. We don't need developers. We don't need machines. We don't need computers. We just allow the rainwater and sunlight to do their thing. And that's how we write software. It just doesn't make sense, right? You need programmers for software. Programmers need to eat. They need a place to live. They need to wear clothing. They need computers. Well, where do computers come from? Well, they're built by people running machines that build machines that build machines. It's all people all the way down, Well, here's something where one guy, using minimal effort, just a intelligent effort, is able to direct nature to produce things that are valuable. And so I don't need like a huge workforce or industrial inputs, but there are some that I do kind of need. Makes my life a lot better, makes better life for the cows, and the cottonseed meal is one of those things. So I kind of miss the cotton industry. I wish it would come back to the US. So anyway, a lot of the pasture that we're using used to be cotton fields, and as the cotton decreased in value and profit, people brought in cows because they make money where cotton wouldn't, But slowly, one by one, these cotton farms are shutting down because they just can't make money. The diesel it takes to run the machines costs more than the product they're making. So, and that's by a design. It's you go across the world, like nobody's as efficient at growing stuff as Americans. There's an economic principle behind why, and it has to do with the fact that we're not stupid about things. We throw a bunch of people at the problem and tell them that if they figure it out, they get paid, and if they don't, they're going to starve, right? And wow, people figure it out, and they figure out how to put two things together to make some money, you know what I mean? And they figure out how to do it more efficiently than the next guy. And nobody can rest on their laurels. They have to every day go out there and produce something, that's of worth to somebody else. And that's the American system. It's very different than all the other systems that the world has operated under for the past whatever years. But Americans are more efficient at producing things. But what happens is countries like China, they have decided that they don't like America. They don't like American industry. And so they are literally robbing from their people. They're taxing their people, bankrupting their future, all so that they can subsidize their industries and then sell those products to America at a cheaper price to destroy the livelihoods of the American, workers and the American farmers and stuff like that. And they think ultimately that that's going to produce the best result for them. But the unfortunate reality of the Chinese system is you can only exploit your people for so long till they catch on to what you're doing. And eventually you have to pay your debt. So, but I totally agree with any action taken against any country that's trying to undercut our economy. If they had produced their goods more cheaply without the subsidies and without the trade protections, and if they were actually doing a better job than the American farmers, then we should be copying them. We should go over there and figure out what they're doing and do it. But every time we go over there and look at what they're doing to try to copy them, to bring back their amazing new technologies, it's always corruption. It's always some kind of scheme. It's bribery. It's protections enforced by the point of a gun. And so we come back empty-handed and say, I guess we can do the Chinese system. We just need to enslave the entire world population. So, but that's the long and the short of it. That's my opinion on the matter. So, didn't mean to make it political, but I guess that's politics nowadays. You have one group of people that wants to tell you what to do, and if you don't agree, they're going to shoot you. Another group of people that just want to be left alone, and if you don't leave them alone, they're going to shoot you. I side with the latter. Leave me alone. Let me do my thing. If I starve, I starve. If I live, I live. I don't want you holding my hand. I want you to leave me the heck alone. If I wanted to deal with you, I would deal with you. If I don't want to deal with you, I won't. But trying to force me to deal with people that I don't want to deal with is not going to make me happy. It's not going to make them happy. Trying to impose your ideals upon me, trying to make me agree with you when I don't agree with you, telling me I'm stupid or retarded. You can go ahead and do that. That's fine. But don't expect me to bow down and do whatever you want. And eventually something's going to give and somebody's going to get hurt. If you keep pushing people, they're going to push back one day. So you got to learn to get along. If somebody disagrees with you, you have to learn how to get along with them. Otherwise somebody's going to get shot. So I think that's what people forget. So, all right, guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.